What is up, comic friends and family? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today I'm here to take a look at next week's new comic book days, kicking off on November 8th and 9th, and it is a huge one. I'm excited for tons of these titles. I can't wait to talk about them. Don't go anywhere. Check this out. Huge shout out to the channel sponsors, Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the channel and the monthly giveaway box for the channel members. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up Justin Comics over on Instagram. Hit him with that promo code WeAreLegion and take advantage of the buy two, get one free special that he's running for the viewers of the channel. The links to all the sponsors are in the description of all my videos. Be sure to check them out. So let's not waste any time. This is a huge week, definitely making up for last week, and it's kicking off with none other than the big event, and we're getting toward the end of it. DC's Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 6 is here, and this is the penultimate issue. It's supposed to be the big battle royale. You have all the young heroes going toe-to-toe with Pariah's Dark Army headed up by Deathstroke, and then you have the Justice League of America making their triumphant return to the main universe. And can they get to Earth in time to join the fight and save the day? It promises to have a new dark enemy rising up from the ranks, and I'm not sure who it's going to be. Hopefully it's associated with the Great Darkness himself, who has been corrupted by Pariah. This has been a really fun event. It's really hit on a lot of different characters from all over the place. It gave the younger characters, the new generation of heroes, an opportunity to really shine through, and it was really cool getting to see Nightwing really step up to the plate. The natural progression of that character from Robin to an actual leader and a figurehead of all the heroes on Earth has just been something that's really fun to watch happen. It's just been dope. Definitely dope. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. And next up, another one that I'm big excited for, Nice House on the Lake, issue number 11 of 12. Again, we have a penultimate issue here. Nora and Walters basically having a falling out, a difference of opinions on how things are being handled here. That last issue was really the one that we've been waiting for this whole time, where we get the big exposition dump and really show Walters' capabilities, what's going on. Got a lot of questions answered, but I'm really curious how they're going to apply them into our story, and if there'll be any kind of resolution, or if everyone is just like a whole Lost episode, they're all pretty much dead to begin with. Have no clue how it's going to play out, but I'm excited to get to be along for the ride. This and Department of Truth are definitely James Tynion IV's best work out there right now. And next up, one that I'm on the fence about. I was so excited for this series. It kicked off so strong. We had 5 incredible issues and then a special, and then issue 6 hit, and it was just dumb. It was super dumb. So outside of the tone and style of this book, but it looks like we're hitting a second arc stride here, where Ghost Rider and the occult FBI agency division is grouping up, and they're going to be on a team moving forward. A new character called Asphalt or Exhaust Pipe or something goofy popped up in that last issue, and Darkheart is on the scene. It feels like it's a 90s book, but it wasn't like billed as one, so it's kind of weird to take that weird shift. It went from being like this crazy, almost horror anthology title to just like a standard mail-it-in type feeling book. I'm still excited to be picking up Ghost Rider. I'm just hoping it finds a stride again, because they really had something special in those first 4 or 5 issues, and they lost it so quick. So I hope they bring it back. It's still the same creative team. Cale New's still doing the covers, but I think this is his last cover. This one or the next one or so, and I think they're going over to Bjorn Barons after that, but I'm going to hang in there for a while. I'm definitely going to hang in there through this story arc and see what even comes after it. I've got faith in this series. I got hope that it's going to get back on track. But needless to say, it's been worth the read. At least that first story arc. That first story arc was. This story arc is just, Next up, one I'm excited for, Batman vs. Robin from Mark Waid, issue number 3. So Damian is fully powered up by the Devil Nazah that was introduced in the pages of World's Finest. He's gathered his army, and it looks like he even has like his own entourage, his own Bat family. And in that last issue, he donned the costume you see there on the cover from that famous Batman 666 issue, where we saw the glimpse into the future of Damian becoming Batman. So it's really cool seeing him in those garbs. That's like super cool. Batman's running around trying to find some information on what to even do to face the Demon Azai. He has not seen him since years ago when him and Superman battled him into his imprisoned tomb on Lazarus Island. So we're starting to really see how all this is coming together and how it's going to be leading into the upcoming Lazarus Planet mini event. So I'm definitely on board for this one. And the Demon Azad, this is such a cool villain that was introduced. He's definitely a powerhouse, and I love that they gave him a little bit of backstory and ties to the origin of the Lazarus Pit itself. So there's a lot of great world building and storytelling and rooting this character deep into DC Comics history. So this is not one to miss, especially knowing that event's coming. That's going to be super fun. That Lazarus Planet, that's going to be a blast. Next up, oh my God, this is it. The issue we've all been waiting for. Do a Power Bomb, issue number 6 from Daniel Warren Johnson. This has probably been the best comic series of the year, the best mini series of the year. Daniel Warren Johnson pulled no punches with this one. Every issue is hard hitting. It was action packed. It was great storytelling. It was gut wrenching. And this cover with Cobra Sun just sitting here is just, man, the pain that this character is carrying on him is just insane. I'm not giving away too much about this series here. Just that last issue, it was a shocker, and it was left on a cliffhanger as well. So going into this is going to be a twisty-turny issue. There's no way that they're coming out of this clean. Next up, oh my God, finally, after a couple of years on YouTube and talking about them the entire time I was here, they're finally back after teasing them in Doomsday Clock, giving us the Stargirl Spring Break special, and then them not showing up. We finally get the return of the JSA proper in their own book. This is a one-shot to kick it off. There's going to be 2 titles that spin out of the pages of this one-shot, including a Justice Society of America and a Stargirl and the Lost Children title. They really got their first kickoff in the final pages of Batman Flashpoint Beyond, where Bruce Wayne went toe-to-toe with Rip Hunter the Time Master, and it was revealed that 13 characters who were imprisoned in the Time Master's vault were released, and they're 13 characters out of time. And this is supposed to span from the time era of the JSA in the 1930s all the way up to the year 3040, and covering so many eras of superheroes and adding so much context to these characters, as well as introducing new characters and explaining where they fit and why they're missing. That's what this whole thing is going to be about, these missing characters that for some reason people don't remember, is what I'm getting the impression. So I'm so on board with this. I cannot wait to dive into this. This is going to be an 80-page one-shot to really kick off the event. There's a lot of cool covers to choose from, and a lot of covers that the artwork's even being held back on, even this close to release. So I'm pumped. I am pumped. I'm all in for the new Golden Age. Cannot wait. Next up, we're getting to the penultimate issue of yet another title with Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 17 from none other than Tom Taylor himself. This is a really cool cover, but I'm going to go ahead and jump to the cover pick of the week on this one is cover B by none other than John Jang, with that gorgeous cover with Clark and Jonathan taking up to the sky, both blasting the heat rays. Just a phenomenal cover. Had to showcase it, but we're getting to the, this is part 4 of the Return of Kal-El. It's a mini series that's bouncing back between issues as we get closer to that landmark issue of Action Comics number 1050. So this has all been about Lex Luthor getting his footing in the ground after the events of War World, Clark returning home, Jonathan being reunited with his father, and Metallo being approached by Lex and given, and looks like he's being offered an upgrade to be a more opposing villain for Superman. So there's been a lot going on, but the real story, for me at least, is this new connection between Clark and Jonathan, since he was away for so long, and Jonathan had to step in and really fight those challenges that his father does on a daily basis and find out what it means to be his own Superman on this world that his dad is so established on. So I'm excited to get in some of the dynamics of that father-son relationship, because it really does hit so well when you get a writer like Philip Kennedy Johnson on it, or especially how Tom Taylor played that last issue of Superman, Son of Kal-El, where they actually made first contact with each other after him being gone. So I'm excited to see how the dust settles and what it looks like for them before we get to this landmark 1050 issue and the relaunching of the title, not renumbering or anything, just a reformatting of the title post 1050. It's going to be a different setup for the Super family moving forward, and I'm all on board for it. Next up, here's one I'm super excited about. Flash, The Fastest Man Alive, issue 3 of 3. This is the final issue for the movie prequels for next year's should be blockbuster smash, Flash, starring none other than the infamous Ezra Miller. But this has been really cool. It's kind of bridging the gap between the Snyder Cut and where we see Flash again in his own movie. We saw him get get his costume proper. We saw him seek out some help from other heroes like Batman. We saw him have to really learn how to operate, like punching things with super speed without harming himself, how he balances his day job with his extracurricular activities as a superhero. And now that he's all settled in those things, he's getting his first villain coming for him. And this is none other than the Top versus the Flash in this issue. And so I'm excited for it. And I hate that there's such a long wait between this book and the movie, but everyone knows how these movies have been getting bounced around and kicked around as the companies were merging and the reformation of everything yet again. So they ended up just putting it out there. It came out later than they originally intended, but they just put it out there anyway. So I'm glad they did. It's got me excited. I don't know how many people are going to read it anyways. Not too sure how many people read the Black Adam JSA prequel books. Those were clutch, man. Those things, or if you didn't pick those up and you've seen the movie, go back and read them now that you've seen it. You're like, oh, that's awesome. They added so much extra layers to that film that it was just fun. Just fun. Next up from Tom King, we have Love Everlasting, issue number 4. This time it looks like Joan is traveling to World War II era, where she's watching men go off and on to war. And this has just been the craziest mind twist love story I've ever read. And I haven't even read a bunch of love stories, maybe one other one. And I don't even remember what it is because I can't even verify that even. But this is such a twisty mind freak of a book right here. And this one promises to have like the Joan kind of learn that the trap of love can lead to an opportunity of power. So you know that she's being hunted by some other person who's aware of this time traveling person or universe hopping or dimension warping, who knows what. We haven't been given any context to the events that are laying out, but such a twisty book. Excited for this one to get here. And here's the big one. Y'all ready? Boom. We have finally arrived. November is the definite month of Superman. So we're getting Superman, the Death of 30th Anniversary special right here. This is an oversized one-shot yet again with a $10.99 price tag, but worth every penny and probably more. What we're getting is the original 4 creative teams from the Superman books that were running in the 1990s when Superman faced off with Doomsday and ultimately met his demise at the hands of the monster. So all 4 of those original titles had separate creative teams, and all 4 of those creative teams are back to tag team this monster oversized special right here. So we're going to be getting 4 individual stories. John learning of the events of his father's passing. We're going to be looking at the Guardian and other characters that are Superman adjacent, as well as being introduced to a brand new villain called Doombreaker, who looks like Doomsday, but has got 4 arms, massive. So I don't know what they're going to do with that character, if he's going to just be contained inside of the pages of this book, or if he's going to move forward in the Superman stories after this. But I'm here for it. Cannot wait. I've been waiting for this book since they announced it. I even upgraded my DC Universe app to the Ultra membership, and I'll be getting a special edition Ivan Reis exclusive cover only available to members with that DC Universe Ultra membership. So I'm all in for this. I've got multiple covers coming from my LCS. There's some really cool ones from some fantastic artists like Ivan Reis, Matina. You've got the Dan Jurgens foil variant. You've got a second Matina one. You have a polybag one. And even Big Time Collectibles have the cojones to do a retailer exclusive on an $11 price tag book. And those bad boys are amazing. They've got the original polybag style artwork, but in a gold foil and a silver foil version. The gold foil, there's only 300 copies made, and they were pre-slabbed before selling. So you're guaranteed that you're buying a 9.8 copy. And them jokers sold out within 2 minutes. I was lucky enough to get my hands on both of them. Cannot wait for those to come in. And another book with all of these titles getting ready to end. DC is expanding their stock yet again. And finally, we're getting some characters that have been shelved for far too long. We're getting the return of Wildcats in issue number 1 by Michael Rosenberg, the same guy who's working with James Tynion on DC versus Vampires. He'll be helming the writing on this, and it's supposed to be spinning out of the pages of Batman. Not sure how, not sure why. I do know that Grifter has been the bodyguard of Lucius Fox for a while now, so maybe they'll be tying it in that way. But either way, Wildcats are going to be operating in the shadows of Gotham City and the DC universe at large. And I can't wait to get these characters back. It's been a long time since I've paid attention to anything Wildcats. I bought the toys as a kid, watched the cartoon show, loved the shiny covers, and now they're back. There'll also be a 90s retro variant for this title. It'll be a foil embossed cover, and I believe it's the red one. There's 5 or 6 foil embossed covers for this month. And yeah, I'm pumped for this to get Spartan, Grifter, Zealot, Maul, Warblade. It's going to be cool. There's no reason this book should be bad whatsoever. Great characters. Jim Lee creations that he brought over to DC with him when he came from Image. And finally, the last book for the week is going to be Starhenge issue number 5. So we have the Dreadnoughts invading. We have Arthur has finally arrived in the past. And we have everyone trying to save magic, and all being done in Liam Sharp's gorgeous artwork. And a second to last issue of this title as well. Be sure to be on the lookout. You can pre-order the hardbacks of this, and based on how the sales of the hardback goes, based off we actually get book 2. So this is book 1, the Boar and the something. And it's only 6 issues. So depending on how the hardbacks sell and the trade paperbacks depend on if they're going to come back for a second volume. So if you're not picking this title up, add it to your pull list, or either go ahead and pre-order your collected copy, your trade paperback, your hardback, whatever's available. I know you can order them now at barnesnoble.com, but I do suggest you check with your local comic shops before you check anywhere else, and always support them first and foremost. And if you want to know, my top pick for this week is going to be and why, be sure to check out the Comic Vents channel. Every Sunday he drops a video where him and I both give you our top pick for the week and tell you why you should consider picking it up. And as always, I want to give a big shout out to the local comic shop, the Augusta Book Exchange. They are the keepers of my comics, the guardian of my pull box. You'll find no better customer service anywhere. Be sure to hit them up if you're ever in the Augusta area and let them know that I sent you. All right, guys, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to, what on this title looked exciting to you. And if I missed anything that you think I need to be checking out, be sure to let me know that as well. And join me every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I do the Spoiler-Filled Live Show, where we review all these books, movies, and TV shows from the week prior. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.